So now we're going to move into the first of the two oral presentation sessions. I just want to briefly reiterate what Rowan said at the beginning. We had a lot of very excellent presentations. And so from that, we selected six, divided into two groups. So beyond the themes that we discussed at the beginning, we divided these groups into methods that guide the policy synthesis procedure, and then methods that also engage in runtime monitoring or other kinds of post-hoc effects for OOD robustness. The first session will be focusing on guiding policy synthesis, and we'll be starting with Fail2Progress, which is going to be presented by Yixuan. So with that, I will open up the floor. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. Today, I'm happy to present my recent work, Fail2Progress. So for the robots, using scale effect model, it usually fails during deployment time when in the unstructured and uncertain real-world environments because it has lots of the out-of-distribution scenarios. So in response, we hope our robot can detect failures and recover from failure and eventually to learn from failure to minimize the future failures. And first, we'll classify the failure into two categories. Based on initial state and a robot action with a learned scale effect model, the robot can predict the effects in a relational level. And then we can execute the same action and then get a relation after execution. If the predicted state and then the executed state match in a symbolic level, we call this is a symbolic level as the success. However, if the predicted relation and the executed relation after action does not match, then we call this is a symbolic level as a failure that caused due to the incorrect symbolic predictions. We next define a symmetrical success if we execute the same action in both simulation and real world, and if their effects match in a symbolic level, even if they are not exactly matched, we call this is a symmetrical success. And otherwise, we found the relational effects in the simulation and real world do not match, then we call this is a symmetrical failure. Here we give a high-level problem setup. The robot is giving a pre-trained scale effect model and then detected failure instance. The research question is that how can we efficiently generate a new data set to fine-tune the model such that the robot can recover from the failure scenario and also it can minimize future failures. And now for the planning phase, the robot is giving a learned scale effect model and an initial thing with the goal as throwing all the trash into the trash can. And the robot plans a scale sequence. During the execution, the robot first executes the first action. We found that if the predicted relation match the relation after execution, this is a success execution. The second execution is also success because we found here the effects match the relation after execution. For the third action, however, the robot thinks all the object will be in the garbage can after executing the action. However, during the real world execution, the relation did not match, and we call this is a failure detection. Next, we want to classify the failure category. We first reconstruct the simulation based on the real world observation and execute the same action. And if the relational effects match from the simulation and real world in a symbolic level, we call if the sim and real match, we call this due to incorrect symbolic prediction because sim and real the effects are the same. Otherwise, we call this because the simulation execution the effect differs from the real world one, so we call this is a symmetrical. The failure is due to symmetrical gap. After we get a detected real world failure that stems from incorrect symbolic predictions, our approach Fail2Progress will generate a bunch of particles representing the simulation state and robot actions. The state posterior distribution captures the failure relation, which we want to match the real world, the observation from the relational perspective, and then the action posterior distribution will maximize the information gain of the scale effect model. And here we give a bit more background about Stein variational inference. For the variational inference, we use a distribution Q to approximate a target distribution P. And Stein variational inference models the candidate distribution Q as non-parametrically as a set of particles. And then we can iteratively apply the updated rule for each particle. For each iteration, the particle is applied this update term, where gamma is the Stein variational gradient. And then the gradient contains two parts. First one is a likelihood part based on the gradient, and next one is a kernel term. For the kernel term, it acts as a repulsive term to try to between particle, which will make the Stein variational inference to maintain multimodes. And here we see an example. In this example, we say the particle just represent, just approximate a multimodal, the posterior distributions. After using a priority progress generating particles, we found that this particle represents a bunch of simulation states and actions, and we use this data set to fine-tune our model. Here we use Shanthi data point because we choose this based on an ablation study. And we can see the diversity here is that there are diversity in the initial states and in the robot action, which is due to the feature of the Stein version. And after fine-tuning on these 20 data points, we found our model successfully recovered from failure and achieved the goal as cleaning the table. We also show the generalization capability of our framework. With a single scale effect model, our model can generalize to 6 objects with 2 different tables. And the specific thing like here, our model is only trained on scenario with 3 objects, but it can generalize to these 4 different scenarios with 4 different tables. We are finishing all the tests and cleaning the table. Here we show some quantitative results. For the first one, we compare to the baseline at original. Original reflects as the state of the art, the 3 scale effect models, and it trained on 40K data point. And then Fail2Progress is trained on 40K data by fine-tuning on 20 target data points. What we found here is that Fail2Progress outperformed the original by a large margin, and to show that learning from the OOD failure is very important. For the second, we provide 2 more baseline. It's more is that it's trained on 40K data points alongside with extra 20 data points. And then the large baseline was trained on like 40K data point with a much larger set, which is 2,000 data points. What we found here is that Fail2Progress still outperformed the small and large baseline by a large margin, which showed that purely adding more data points without informative like the data generation process is not enough to address all the failures. Next, we include a baseline with replanning, and we found here replanning improves a bit compared to the original, but it's still much worse than the Fail2Progress. This just means the replanning can help, but it cannot address all the failure case, especially when the dynamics model is not perfect. And furthermore, replanning alone cannot just minimize any future failures after the current experience. We also compare to 2 baselines as sampling and gradient. For the sampling baseline, it just generates a bunch of particles iteratively until they satisfy the objective. Well, for the gradient, it just employs the same objective as Fail2Progress, but update each particle individually and sequentially. And through this comparison, we find that our approach outperforms the sampling and gradient, which demonstrates that using Stein variational inference is good to approximate multimodal and high-dimensional posterior distributions. And in conclusion, we propose a system with failure detection and 2-category failure classification, and we also propose learning from failure with Stein variational inference. There are several lessons we learned from this project. The first one is that to generate the targeted but diverse data set is very important to learn from failure and can eventually minimize the future failure. And second is the Stein variational inference is great to generate the target data set that can approximate the high-dimensional and multimodal posterior distributions. There are a bunch of limitations. I just briefly talk here. The first one is that we only do the one-shot learning from failure and how to continuously deploy this system in real world and learning from failure, and eventually we'll get a better performance, and eventually we hope to achieve a 100% success rate. And second is that we don't address the same trivial gap in this work, and how to address the same trivial gap combined with our current system to address the failure from incorrect symbolic prediction would be an interesting next steps. And thanks for listening. Happy to take any questions.